What's up, everybody? It's Albert Campo with the CantinaMX Podcast here with Joel. We're both here in California, but North Cal and SoCal. What's going on, Joel?
¿Qué huele, chiquis? How was that in and out you just had?
That's pretty good. Same old in and out.
Is
Been a while, but
is the debate strong still? In and out versus Whataburger?
no, I don't really get into that debate. They're two different burgers to me. There's another place in Austin that I like better than both of them.
Oh, what is it called?
Mighty Fine Burger.
Mighty Fine.
Yeah, that's better than Whataburger and In-N-Out Burger.
Might have to try it sometime.
It's a local place. Yeah, if you ever come over, I'll take you over there. I think there's only like two of them in Austin.
So we had the CONCACAF Champions League first leg final, and it was Final Regia, Monterrey hosting Tigres, and they took the 1-0 lead off a Nico Castillo goal, if I'm not mistaken. But the atmosphere was pretty electric, chiquis.
You're talking about last night's.
Yes, final. Yeah, and I've noticed social media. They these teams from Monterrey, they still they make fun of them, talking about because they're not grandes. Historically, they are not. They've only come into prominence the last maybe 20 years, maybe less, as far as like being protagonistas. So in that sense, yeah. But if we look at like the English Premier League, you could see teams that they're big teams now that traditionally weren't the big teams, like Manchester City, even Man United didn't start winning the bulk of their teams until the 90s. And then Chelsea, when they got bought by, what is that guy? The Russian guy. What is his name? I keep missing his name.
Russian
God damn it, chiquis. What's the guy's name?
Russian guy.
Yeah, man. He bought the team. Abramovich. That's his name. It's Abramovich. He bought, Chelsea. They started calling them Chelsea. Yeah, and so that's what's going on, and it's pretty relevant to Liga MX. It's pretty similar because Tigres was taken over by Cemex, and I dropped my mic. And Monterrey by FEMSA. Those are really big corporations, really huge. They're worldwide. If they wanted to, they could easily quadruple transfer fees and just dominate Liga MX. That's if they wanted to, but they're playing nice. And that's pretty much what I think it's gonna happen with Liga MX pretty soon, where we talk about we see how the league is pretty even. There's this parity, and the campeonatos are they're spread out. You have Tuzos winning, you have Santos, Toluca, León, whatnot. But I feel in the next 10, maybe 20 years, it's gonna turn into like a 5-team league again, and the teams with the big corporations are gonna end up dominating, and in that sense, Monterrey Tigres are gonna. I expect them to be at the forefront.
Yeah, I think for the last couple of seasons, though, Tigres has been going a little bit downhill. Even though they're still in good position on the table. I wasn't surprised to see them lose to Monterrey in their own stadium the other night. So, and even when Monterrey scored that goal, Tigres came back with a fury, man, and they still couldn't get one in. Monterrey didn't really sit
Couldn't
back
get
too
it in.
much. They couldn't score one towards the end. They were knocking on the door. The brothers were Quiñones and the homie brothers were on the attack, but they couldn't do anything.
Yes.
So, and that's like a big thing in Monterrey. The big deal, like Tigres, is all about the championship that they won in Rayado's own home.
It is.
And they always do that, and then they got it reversed to them. Of course, there's still one more game, but
it is one more game, and it's going to be at El Volcán, at Tigres' house. And another important thing about this match, it is the first international final for both teams. So and you know, people might say, well, so what? You know, it's just CONCACAF. But I mean, we're seeing more and more of these teams, you know, playing these games, and that's how it starts. They start becoming more relevant, and they just start taking over the headlines. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of bragging rights right there, whichever Monterrey team wins.
Correction though, it's gonna be at the Tamalera. It was at the Volcán the other day, on Tuesday.
Oh snap! You're right.
It'll be on.
You're right. Monterrey. Wait, didn't which team lost to Santos? They won the series, but they lost to Santos, and then that's why they couldn't host the final. So this is gonna be the third. Is this the third final like that they're hosting? Monterrey's been hosting quite a few finals since they put that stadium.
Oh, well, the Liga MX final.
They did. Well, they had two finales in Liga MX. The one they lost to Pachuca, and then the one they lost to Tigres. But I think they probably had more. But yeah, it's very interesting. So that's what's going on with Monterrey, and and then of course I think the rivalry is obviously going to spread into the league because both those teams are also going to want. They're also going to want to have the Liga MX Campeonato. So that's going to be interesting. And with 2 match weeks left, safe to say both of these teams are in Liguilla.
Yeah, they're second place and third.
Second and third with León, still king of the jungle. They have a record 12 wins in a row.
Shoot.
Mighty impressive. And the best player of the league, Angel Mena, who was at Cruz Azul. Man, they let the wrong striker leave. You know, they should have sent Cartucho Quemado to Cartelucho Quemado to León, man. That's the wrong guy.
That's the kind of look they have, man. And that I was thinking of Cruz Azul when I was in Mexico City in the Zócalo.
Yeah.
You know how they have those guys dressed up as Aztecs with the what's that plant that they have, and they're smoking it.
Agave? Oh no, they're smoking the plant.
Well, they have the plant, or they have the stuff, the smoke going on, and then they have the plant, and they like slap people in the back with it to give them
scare away the demons.
Scare away the bad luck. I was like, man, Cruz Azul needs to go over here. So they give up their player who, let me see, he played Cruz Azul. He debuted against Necaxa in 2017. So Cruz Azul had this dude, and then they give him up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they did.
He was 2017, 18, 2 years in Cruz Azul, and then he goes and dominates.
Well, you know, Chiquis, I'm gonna be fair to Cruz Azul. Sometimes certain players, they just don't, they just don't mesh with the club. We're seeing it with Jimenez, how he's 3 times the player he was at, what was it, Benfica. in his Portuguese club. So that's, sometimes you just have the right teammates, the right coach.
Well, even last year in Leon was his first season with Leon was or wait, que es Apertura 2018 Clausura. Okay, so this is his first real season with Leon.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's up there, dude. He's 31 already. But I think he could have a good, I don't know, 2, 3 more years. He's already an idol there. But Leon, massive 12 wins. It's already a historic season for them. And they're obviously going to be candidates to win. Yon is not here, but he expects them to have the curse of the super leader and saying that they will be eliminated in the first round of Liguilla. I just don't see that happening. This team is just too, it's very experienced, has players, they've won before, they've had players like Luis Montes who's won championship titles with them. They have Cota who won with Chivas, and he was at Pachuca. So I mean, they have a well-rounded team. I just don't see that happening to them. Not when you have those type of players that are, they've been in the big dance before. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. The other team that was doing good and has lately, I think we could say they're in danger of not qualifying, is America.
Oh, I haven't even. Well, they're in 7th, so yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they've dropped. They've dropped, and the bar has not been kind to them. And we've seen Piojo versus Arbitros.
Yeah.
So, wow. I mean, they're the recent Copa MX campeones, and I think imagine if they end up qualifying in 8th, and then you'll have Leon America. That'd be quite the matchup right there, man. That would be. I could see Leon being eliminated in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, in that scenario, I could. Just because, man, Piojo he's right now, he's the best coach in Liga MX. His numbers back him up. There's no disputing that. A lot of people might not like the guy, but he has the results right there to back him up. So that would be quite the matchup right there if that does happen. Do you know who America plays this coming weekend? Because we're down to the last 2 match weeks.
Yeah, America plays. Let's see. Before I mentioned that, since we were talking Leon.
Yes.
And I wanted to mention real quick, Leon has won. Okay, so they spanked Atlas 5-2 this last week, and their recent wins have been pretty high scoring.
Yeah.
Previously, they won 3-0 Puebla, 2-1 Necaxa, 3-2, 2-0, 3-0 Santos, 3-1 Pumas, 3-0 Atlas, 3-0 America, or not Atlas, 3-0 Toluca, 4-0 Querétaro. So some of these wins have been like high scoring.
Yeah, they opened that kind of whoop ass.
But I want to say, and this might be hurtful and cruel or savage or whatever, but I want to say the record's coming this week for Leon, man, because they're going to the Acorn Stadium.
Oh man, dude. Come on, Acorn. You mean Akron? Acorn
Stadium, man. I want to see.
Oh, ouch!
Unless they put like their bench players in or whatever, and they're gonna rest up for the Liguilla. What kind of blowout you see coming to Chivas, eh?
Oh man, yeah, Chivas is a mess. They're a big mess, but we're gonna have Chivin Jaime joining us, so I'll save some of the Chi Hermano talk for when he joins us. Right now, we were still with Ame, and I mean, do you have the schedule to see who they play?
America plays Santos on Saturday.
Yeah, and that's Santos, man. Santos not easy. They just haven't been that consistent.
Yeah, and Santos, let's see where they're at. Yeah, Santos is down below. They're probably. I need to get a.
Wait, are you sure they play Santos?
Let me double check. The 26th, 27th of April. America Santos. In the
I
Azteca.
have. Oh, you know what? I'm looking at Sub-15, man. God damn it. God damn it. I'm in the Vancomer page. And I always mix it up because they'll put Liga Femenil, Sub-15, Sub-20, but it's like in small letters.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, God damn it. Okay. They're tricking me, man.
Yeah, I need to get
Okay, you do. You're right. They do have. They will face Santos, and they're facing them at home. So I give them the edge there. Just home games always makes teams a bit stronger. But it's a big match for America. Must win, especially if they want to secure a spot in Liguilla. And then we have what is it? Who are we talking about? Oh yes, Monterrey plays Necaxa. They host at home, and Tigres goes away to Puebla. So I mean, but these teams are already pretty much qualified. I don't have much to worry about. Um, I think Cruz Azul is a team that's been on a roll, and they're playing away to Lobos Buap. I see them taking points again right there. So I think Cruz Azul is going to be in the dance. Um, and then we have Atlas Pachuca, man, and I think Pachuca as well. They're a team that we should expect to also see in Liguilla.
I wonder, is there a table that shows which teams are eliminated already?
Just the regular, I mean, if you look at the regular thing, you could see.
I gotta take out my calculator and do math and stuff, man. So there's 23 points. Is Puebla's on 8th place, 23. It's like Puma's at 16. That's the big gap. Or with 16 points at 13th place. Santos at 19. Yeah, I see it difficult for Santos to. I mean,
You see it difficult for Santos to win.
to bounce up. There's two more games left, right? Santos has 19 points.
Well, I mean, they're still in the fight though. They would just have to win their next games. But yeah, I do think it's difficult, being that they play America, and America really needs to. They're in 7th with 23 points. I mean, and Santos has 19. So yeah, Santos would have to win their last 2 games. But Pachuca, they're in 6th place. So I mean, Pachuca beats Atlas, they'll be pretty much secured. You know, they'll be pretty much secured going into the last match day. So we could say right now, León, Tigres, Monterrey, and even Cruz Azul, I would say, are pretty much in. León, obviously, they're mathematically already in. They're way, way above, head and shoulders above everyone else, 38 points. And Necaxa's the other team, because well, Necaxa has 25. They're in 5th place. Cruz Azul, they're in 4th with 26. Cholos is the other team that's fighting to get in. They're 22 points. In 9th place, they're playing Morelia. And Morelia is one of the worst teams. They're in 16th. And it's crazy because we were talking about Chivas earlier, and because Chivas has gone on a 7-match winless streak, 7 games. So that's the polar opposite of Leon's 12 wins in a row. But they're still in 15th place.
Yeah.
And and they're no chances of qualifying. No chances. They're no. Their Liguilla pass revoked.
I'm gonna do this. Oh shoot, Chivas has some tough 2 games. I'm gonna do this simulator here.
Simulator.
Liguilla. Yeah, I think America is gonna make it.
Yeah, I mean, but even though they're favored, they're still in danger.
Pachuca, Necaxa, Tijuana. Yeah. It's going to be competitive with whoever loses the Conca Champions. Between the Monterrey teams are going to have pressure to produce in the Liguilla. America won Copa MX, so they're going to want the doblete. And Leon is the super leader. See, this is going to be a pretty entertaining, tournament. Did you go over all the games for this weekend then?
Yeah, we've pretty much covered. We pretty much covered the main matches that are coming up. I mean, let's hold on. I lost my I had it and I lost it, Chiquis. I had my list in front of me, and it's gone, dude.
The tab got deleted.
No,
Chivas, Pumas, who's out of it? My Pumas, sadly, they're going down. They're playing Toluca on Sunday. 3 games on Sunday. Cruz Azul, Lobos, WAP, Querétaro, Veracruz. Yeah, so this is the second to last.
No, well, you know what? I think we're looking at, because we don't really have any, I would say, like, interesting matchups. So I would say America Santos is definitely going to be one of them. Just because America, and what a defeat would mean for them. So I think that's going to be an interesting game, one to keep your eyes on.
Mm-hmm.
That one, and what is that other team as well? Cholos Morelia, who knows? Because just they're another team that could sneak into Liguilla. But we don't really have any, like, that you could say big games, man. We just Querétaro, Veracruz, and that's dumpster fire right there. Veracruz already relegated. There's all this problems going on with the league wanting the owner to just sell the team, and he said that he would pay the fine, which I still don't know why the league would do that. Allow him to just pay a fine, and that lets him keep the team in first division. I mean, what's the point of having relegation then? They're not even going to go down, so that's just weird. And so that's the owner. His name's Scudi, and he was throwing shade on Santos because Santos sold a player to them that was injured. So there's like a big lawsuit that might be going on. So they're getting like FIFA involved. That's one of the other news, but Yeah, Veracruz is a mess. Uh, and then, I mean, I guess you could say Pumas, Toluca's ever since they got Bigoton La Volpe, ever since he returned, the Diablos, because the Diablos were a laughing stock. Even MLS teams were going into the Bombonera, the Devil's Cauldron, and smacking them around, but that just hasn't been the case since El Bigoton returned. You even had Hugo Sanchez giving him some praise, which was somewhat surprising. He said it in Fútbol Picante, how he preferred the old guard coaches, and he called La Volpe a good coach.
Yeah, this whole La Volpe stuff. On the Cootie thing, man, that guy's just like, I just want to see that guy go away, man. But on the other side, it's sort of he sort of provides entertainment. Like whenever he was fighting with journalists, and I think he was fighting in the palco with the the referee boss guy. Forget his name.
Yeah.
He's I guess he's Ronnie's friend or something.
Iñañagori.
Yeah.
Iña something is weird. It's weird. Iñagori.
That guy does provide some loans, man. Fidel Cudi. But I wouldn't mind seeing him like be gone from Veracruz.
Yeah, yeah, Veracruz has been a mess. They deserve a proper owner. But yeah, they're a team that until they get their ish together, they shouldn't be in first division. You know, and I'm not going to. I just want to finish one of my league thoughts before I go into the another thought about the whole closing the gap thing. When we make fun of like how MLS teams do against Liga MX, and we say, well, the gap's not closing, especially with how their teams were bounced out of the CONCACAF Champions League. But like off the field, with just the administering of the teams and setting up, it's you could say in some of those ways they surpassed Liga MX, and now I have a little news here to share. Oh, goddamn. Okay. No. Yeah. Just to closing the league, I would say definitely because Toluca still could get into Liguilla, and they just have to beat Pumas, who they're gonna be playing away at Estadio Olímpico Universitario. So I think that's going to be one of the big games, as well as Cholos, because they have to win. They just have to, and of course America also, because they're hot in their heels. I think those are some of the going to be the interesting games to keep an eye on. And then let me go into this news that I had right here, because where is it? Okay, here is. It was my hot take of the week, and I try to engage our readers, but nobody took the bait, Chiquis. Our Facebook readers. Yes.
I'm gonna tweet it. I'm gonna tweet it while you say it.
Tweet it.
I'm gonna tweet it on the CantinaMX.
You could get it. You could get it on the Facebook. It's ya está escrito. Just you could cut and paste. It's from April 19th. So I put this was from some news that came out about MLS to expand to 30 teams. So it says teams number 28 and 29 would require an expansion fee of 200 million.
Oh.
Which is like double, because I believe LAFC, they bought their franchise for 100 million. So these next two teams that are going to join the league, they have to pay 200 million. So it says MLS currently has 24 teams and has confirmed expansion teams in Austin, Miami, and Nashville. So it means like, whoa, 200 million to join the league, man. And we look at Veracruz, and all they gotta do to stay in Liga MX is pay 6 million.
200.
I mean, wow, look at that disparity. And you have like, and nothing against Lobos Buap, but you have like Lobos Buap playing in a 5K high school stadium, and scrapping by, dude. They have to scrap the bottom of the Liga MX barrel for players, and and that's where I see it was my hot take where I said the gap might not be closing in the field, but in other areas it has been surpassed, and I do feel that it still remains to be seen what difference is it going to make, but in the long run, I mean, if we continue this trend, we could probably see stronger MLS teams. Like ultimately, they're going to field stronger sides.
I think, well, they have to get the players first.
Yeah, what we have been. I mean, if you look at, like, let's say a Galaxy versus LAFC match, and you have players like they have like Vela and Zlatan and Jonathan. So I mean, certain teams like that. But I mean, those are the exception. Now I still think they're a few years off from catching up. But when you see news like this, you know, you just know that they're doing some things right, and that they're sort of like on that verge of especially with the U.S. hosting the World Cup soon.
I was gonna say, so if say a Liga MX team wants to buy itself into the league, how much are they gonna have to pay?
Liga MX team?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, 6 million, pretty much.
6 million just to.
Well, I mean, if you could go in for free if you qualify, which and they were trying to get rid of that, and that was one of the reasons why Liga MX was trying to get rid of like the relegation, because they're trying to improve the first division teams, because that's one way how they see of the teams going up in value. Because a team like Lobos Buap, it's not going to go up in value if they're in constant danger of being relegated. But if you know that they're going to remain, so it's easier for them to get more sponsors and TV deals and all of that.
Yeah, I still see it hard for the on the field gap to be shortened or lessened. The only one of the main things would be if all their players, like the starting players, were purely foreigners. I don't know if they would eventually have a foreigner rule or anything, but that's the only way I see their league or their teams being like dominant, is if they're all foreigners. Because once you put an American, then you're just lowering in.
No, I know, but one of the things that we're seeing is how they're targeting more and more South American talent, players that could play in Liga MX. So that's the other thing that we expect, that down the line we might see the league competing more for those quality players against Liga MX. And if you're like the Lobos Buavs, the Veracruz, the Morelias, you're going to be pretty assed out, because before those teams didn't have much competition. If a player's option was like, they couldn't go to Europe, they could come to Mex, and a lot of those teams would pay better than leagues like Peru or Ecuador, even Chile. But now you have MLS that we saw one of the transfers was for the River Plate players, $15 million. And he kept like $4 million, I think. As part of the clause, he had like a contract clause and he kept 4 million. That's which is why I also see some of these players from South America coming to MLS instead of like some of the other leagues in Europe. Instead of going to like Ukraine or Greece, some of these lower leagues hoping to springboard into the top leagues. If you could get that 4 million clause, dude, you're pretty set. You buy your family a house and, open them up a little store or something. They're pretty much set. You could break your ankle the next year and you don't have to worry about money.
Yeah, we'll see. We've seen like top foreign talent in the MLS, like what's that guy's name? The Italian dude,
Jovinko,
Giovinco.
he was here.
He played against Liga MX, and then that was like a year or two ago, and didn't take it. Just recently, Piti Martinez played. He was new, of course. That might be like an excuse. He just started with.
And they changed their coach.
Yeah, and a coach change. So yeah, we'll see as these new guys come. We'll see if they actually play up to their level and don't get pulled down to the level of MLS, or like they're the only guy there that that's doing anything, and everyone else, like even LA Galaxy, man, you see all the praise and the ego just blowing up for Ibrahimovic, man. That team would get spanked by any Liga MX team. I mean, it's just pretty much a show out there for that guy. It's just like he's playing in an all-star game or something.
Yeah. Well, the way things are going, I think safe to say for the next Champions League, CONCACAF, let me make that clear.
Oh, yeah.
The CONCACAF Champions League, we could very well see the Galaxy and LAFC, in that tournament. So that I think that's going to make some exciting games, and we'll see how those teams match up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's slowly there. But I guess this is about the time we could go into the Chi Hermano talk.
Yeah. So a lot of Almeida talk going on, and
You mean Thomas Boy's quote?
Yeah, Thomas Boy dissing on the dude, saying that he is the reason, like his final seasons are the reason Chivas are in the state that they're in right now.
They were bad. His last 2 seasons were indeed bad. I think Tomas is exaggerating a bit to put all the blame, squarely on Matis, but he does share some of that. It's just my Chi hermanos like to forgive him everything.
Well, I think if Rigo was here, he would say that there were a lot of injuries.
Yeah, that's the apologizing.
Yeah.
The apologizing. It is true, there was injuries, but that's still an excuse because you prepare for that thing. The team's not just 11 players. They have over 23 players. So he had a long time to prepare a lot of them, and for the most part, he didn't. He had his winning side, and he stuck to it. Yeah, but I mean, just to highlight how bad his Matias season was. He finished in 17th. Chivas right now, as bad as they're doing, are in 15th place. They're the same amount of points that Mati did in one of his worst seasons. I mean, if they do just one more point, they would surpass the previous seasons that Matias had. And the only thing that you had Copa MX and Champions League, that's where he would look good. So a lot of Chiva fans they would forgive that the league, they're looking so bad in the league. But I was saying if he would have stayed right now, who knows how fans? I don't know if fans would have been as forgiving. That's one of the reasons why he left. He's like, I already missed out twice in a row. I crashed the third time. My stock's gonna drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him. So yeah, he did have some of his blame, uh, you know, but it's not all on him. But it's like, I just think fans make it seem like if he would have been here, everything else would have been fine. And it's pretty simple way of seeing it. There's just too many things that are going wrong at Chivas. So we'll see what happens. Because the owner, well, the vice president, I think he is, Vergara's son, Amauri,
Amaury.
he said there's gonna be big changes. So, but one thing that's right now trending, I'll say, is Turco. Turco was in Argentina. He was coaching Huracan, and he just resigned. I don't know if it was yesterday or today, but he just resigned from Huracan, and he said things weren't working out with the team. I just couldn't get him to work, and he is, of course, one of the candidates to take over the Chivas coaching gig.
Uh-huh. I just saw a note on Chivas. They're having a special for the game against Leon, 6 for 1.
6 for 1. Are you joking?
No. Well, okay. There's some caveat. There's a caveat though. 6 tickets for the cost of 1, but you have to be abonado.
Okay, like a season ticket.
Yeah, you have to have season ticket holder.
6 for 1. That's, hey, that reminds me of Chivas USA, because they would sell the family pack, and there'll be like 4 or 5 tickets with hot dogs and soda and a Chiva girl calendar, and it was like for like $50 or something. Well, goddamn. Goddamn. Well, they need the fans to go in there, to go in and watch this team that's been quite the disaster. But so I mean, yeah, the Chivas season is pretty much over. I don't know what happened. They at one point they were at the top of the league, and then they just crashed. And the big news right now, we're kind of sad. It's Vergara. There's been a lot of speculation that his health is really bad, and he might not survive long.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so they're saying that if he passes away, the team might be sold. And there's already some rumors of who might buy it. One of them is, oh man, I forget this guy's name. He's got a weird sounding name, something like Heflon. And he owned Comics, which is paint. It's a paint distributor. What's going on over there, Chiquis? Are you?
Got helicopters.
Are you in the inner city? You were at a Motel 5?
Motel 5. I'm in the posh area of Milpitas.
Milpitos? All right.
Oh,
yeah. No, that's pretty much it for this week, folks.
Yeah.
The league, we will be having a liguilla soon, and a campeón de Conca Champions as well. So it's all going to be wrapping up pretty much in the next 2 weeks. And well, I guess we could talk a little bit about what is it, Sub-20. because there's going to be the Under-20 World Cup in Poland, and Lainez is going to be going there, and also JJ Mack, who is the top Mexican goal scorer right now. He plays with León. He has 7 goals, and he got called up, and León is letting him go. And so that's the other news right there.
Part of that news, though, is which sort of goes along to what I've been talking about for a while, is Jonathan Gonzalez. He wasn't let go by Monterrey to go to that tournament, which apparently, looking at the Monterrey's games, they haven't been starting him and playing him very much. So that dude's sort of losing the hype for the Mexican American guy at Rayados.
Ouch. No, I think that he will probably play a big role going into Liguilla. I mean, they might be thinking he's gonna be one of the players that they want in case of an injury or a suspension, and they see him as just being a big option.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up his minutes, but yeah, I guess I'm so yeah, the under-20s, that's interesting. So Lioness, I think we talked about a lot of people wanted to see him at the Gold Cup, which I sort of agree with that. But I guess we have to settle for the Youth Cup. And then some other stuff going on. Maradona is in semifinals with Dorados. And I guess since, like, from what you said earlier, the meaningless, if any tournament is meaningless, I guess the Ascenso, is that considered meaningless? If you're just if Veracruz or whoever can just buy themselves back in?
I think they're gonna go up to 19 teams. So if the team that goes up is a team that qualifies, because Liga MX, they up the ante. You just can't come into first division unless you meet certain criteria. So if it's one of the teams that meets those demands, then the league will go up to 19 teams. So I think I know Atlético San Luis is one of the, they're being promoted as one of the possible teams that could join the first division next season.
Alrighty, there you go. San Luis. Nice little town.
San Luis, you been there, Chiquis?
Yep. They got some good enchiladas, man.
Oh, nice.
In San Luis.
Yeah, so I mean, under 20, yeah, we pretty much hit all our talking points for this week. There's no other big news that has come out recently.
Yeah, we have one guy in our chat, MRQZ Birdie.
Yes.
I don't know what the timestamp for that was, but he asks, and we already answered it, but you think America beats Santos?
Oh yeah, yeah, I see them as favorites, but Santos, man, Santos could. It's one of those teams that they could just surprise you and then especially with all that's been going on with Piojo fighting against the refs.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just don't see another game not going, of America getting bad calls. It'd just be very controversial. It's just become a big thing already. But Santos definitely they have the quality to surprise America if they're not concentrated, if they're not at 100%.
Yeah, it's also like if during a game when the ref makes a semi-bad call against a team in the first half. Minutes after, or maybe in the second half, he'll sort of make the equalizing call the other way to sort of like even things out. These refs that are seeing like all the complaints and all the fighting that Miguel Herrera's having with the refereeing, the VAR, and all that stuff, they might go into it psychologically thinking, okay, I'm not going to screw up. I'm not going to screw up the game for America. I'm going to be very careful not to be controversial.
And it's at the Azteca, yeah.
Yeah, so they
you don't want to piss off those fans.
They could end up being, in favor of the ref, and we don't want Ronnie to get his knife out, start stabbing walls anymore.
Stabbing walls. He's done too much drywall this season already.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. We do have Ame as favorites, but wouldn't be surprised if Santos is, if Santos ruins the party.
Yeah. All right, man.
Yeah, that's all she wrote, man. That's all for this week. So hopefully next week there'll be just better stories, man. They're just it's kind of boring.
We're ramping up into Liguilla, so that's gonna be exciting. And there's some good games on these last two. It's always fun the last two, especially to see who's gonna actually make it through and who's gonna fail and all this stuff.
And what the matchups are gonna be. What the matchups are gonna be. As we said earlier, a Leon America matchup would just be like, damn. If you're Leon and you had the historic season, it sort of seems like you're being punished by facing America.
Yeah. Well, they're leaders, man. They've been blowing everyone out. They should be able.
And they already did beat. But no, but still America's that one team that if they're firing on all cylinders, they could beat any team in the league.
All right, man. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for everyone for listening. And we will be podcasting again soon, hopefully with some other panelists. And we will be on Twitter. I'll have this thing uploaded tomorrow. Thanks for coming on, Joel.
Always a pleasure, Chiquis.
All right. We'll see you guys later.